This is why you must have a plan as a couple before you walk in. You see, holiday gatherings are not the place to wing it. So don't go there. They actually require communication, alignment, safety planning, boundaries, shared expectations, many things. So here's the question every couple should ask before walking into a family event. Hey beautiful, are you done with the pain, devastation, and overwhelm that marital betrayal has thrown at you? And you need a real roadmap to recovery. And you also desire to heal God's way. Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Lisa, a betrayal, trauma, and infidelity recovery specialist who went from being crushed and humiliated by my own husband's affair to a global sought-after recovery specialist, helping Christian women and couples just like you heal and recover from the devastation of marital betrayal, all while doing it God's way. Are you ready to dive in? I know I am. So, grab your favorite latte, maybe a glass of wine, snuggle up with your favorite blanket on the couch, and let's focus on you right now. Let's do this, beautiful. Welcome back to the Beauty Beyond Betrayal podcast. We are in a holiday series. Yes, can you believe it? The holidays are here. Didn't we just hit January 2025? It's beyond my imagination anymore. Time flies, does it not? But here we are. We're in the holiday season, and so this is where I generally like to do a holiday series to really help couples who are navigating betrayal trauma during this time period, because it can be exhausting, right? So today, I want to literally break down from you, what do you do when your family doesn't know? You're navigating confidentiality, boundaries, there's awkward questions during the holiday gatherings. You know, we're going to dive into a very real holiday struggle that a lot of couples who are recovering from infidelity deal with. How do we handle family gatherings when no one knows what's happening? Because here's the thing. Some of you are walking into the holiday dinners carrying betrayal pain, triggers, anxiety. You're exhausted. There's fear, unspoken tension, and emotional landmines. While the rest of the room, well, they have no idea that your entire world was shattered this year, or maybe this time last year, and they don't know. Maybe you don't want your family to know. Maybe you're trying to protect your kids, or you've told a few close people, but not the whole family. Maybe the unfaithful spouse doesn't want anyone to know. Maybe you're unsure what to say when the relatives start asking personal questions. Well, either way, this creates a unique kind of pressure and often a unique kind of pain. So today, I'm going to walk you through why holiday gatherings can feel so triggering when betrayal is still fresh. And yes, if you're a year out, it can still be fresh. Why? Because it's an anniversary of that time period. We're also going to talk about how to set boundaries as a couple ahead of time. What to do when you feel overwhelmed, how to handle inappropriate or uncomfortable questions, how to stay united even when your emotions get high, and let's be real, they may, and how to keep your healing priority intact because it's your priority during the holiday season. So take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out, all right? And let's get started. Again, this series you need to be listening to together. This is going to really be helpful. So why is it that holiday gatherings can feel so emotional, like pressure cookers during the holidays? Well, if betrayal is a part of your story this year, family gatherings can feel incredibly complicated. Now here's why. First off, you're grieving something no one else can see. It's not like an aunt or an uncle, a mom, someone, a dad, that they have passed away and everyone knows it. This is something unseen. You're sitting at the table passing the mashed potatoes while you're internally trying not to shake trying not to just come apart. Also, you're watching everyone else celebrate while you're just trying to survive. When you are dealing with betrayal trauma in the midst of holidays, it can feel lonely, isolating, even surreal. Number 3, you're pretending to be okay because you don't want to ruin the holiday. And I can tell you this, pretending is exhausting. It is a heavy weight, and it adds emotional weight to your body, which is already struggling to carry the emotional load that it has. Well, here's number 4. You're bracing yourself for questions you don't know how to answer. Things like, how's your marriage? You seem stressed lately. Or, you two look really tired. Is everything okay? Even innocent questions can feel like knives when you don't know how to navigate it. And here's a 5th one. You may be carrying resentment toward your spouse, and now you have to, quote, act normal, right? You have to put on the mask, act like everything's okay. Well, that creates internal conflict, and internal conflict amplifies the trauma that you're already experiencing. This is why you must have a plan as a couple before you walk in. The truth is, holiday gatherings are not the place to wing it. They actually require good communication, alignment with one another, safety planning, boundaries, shared expectations. So here's the question every couple, including you, should answer before walking into any family event. And the question is, what story are we telling this year? What story are we telling this year? Because if you don't decide ahead of time, you will default into panic, silence, or conflict, and none of those help your healing. And, well, those are red flags to everyone else, and they're going to really ask questions. So I want to walk you through a plan that I teach inside of my marriage redesign program. This could be very beneficial, and it could help with the landmines that you might be trying to avoid this holiday season. So what are your steps? Let me break them down for you. Step number 1 is to decide what you're sharing, if anything at all. Now, this is a crucial step. You do not owe anyone an explanation. All right, let me say that again, okay? You do not owe anyone an explanation. That includes your parents, his parents, siblings, cousins, friends, but you do need unity as a couple on this question. Are we sharing nothing? Are we going to share a portion of the story? Or are we going to share the whole truth with select people? Now, you probably are wondering, oh gosh, what should we do, right? Well, here are a few options for you. Option A would be to share nothing. And this is completely okay. This protects your healing. That is okay. You have permission to do that. Option B is to share a non-specific version. Something like, we're going through a difficult season right now, and we're focusing on healing together. We're really not ready to talk about the details quite yet, but we appreciate your prayers and support. It's clear, it's concise, it's simple, and it's to the point. That is non-specific, and that is okay. Here's option C. Share with one safe person. Now, if it helps you regulate or feel supported, decide what that one person is and then share with them, okay? The next one is to tell the truth. This is option D. Tell the truth, but only to those who truly need to know. You see, there is no right choice. There's only the choice that aligns with your healing and your safety. So decide to tell the truth, but only to those who you feel truly need to know it. The holidays can feel overwhelming, lonely, or even traumatic when you're walking through the pain of infidelity and betrayal. While everyone else seems to be celebrating, you're struggling with the triggers, emotional landmines, and the heaviness of the season. But you know what? You don't have to just survive the holidays. You can actually thrive even after betrayal. I have created a course just for you. It's a powerful faith-centered mini course designed specifically for those healing from infidelity, betrayal trauma, and sexual addiction in their marriage. This transformational holiday training guide will help you to navigate those emotional triggers during the holidays with calm and confidence. It'll help you to protect your peace with healthy, Christ-honoring boundaries, respond to difficult family dynamics without shutting down, stay grounded despite painful memories or reminders, create a holiday plan that supports your healing, not your fear. And it's going to also help you reclaim your joy, hope, and stability, even in the midst of betrayal. If you're tired of dreading the holidays, feeling emotionally flooded, or walking on eggshells, this is your roadmap back to peace and strength. You deserve more than just getting through the holidays, beautiful. You deserve to heal, to breathe, and to step into this season with clarity, strength, and peace. So go below in the show notes, grab How to Thrive Through the Holidays After Betrayal, and it is only a few dollars and change a day. It's $47. This is for your complete course, all your downloadables, videos, everything. $1 and change a day so that you can step back into the things that really matter. And your healing does matter, beautiful. Your heart matters, and this holiday can actually be different starting today. Okay, here is step number 2. Prepare your responses when awkward or invasive questions come your way. So, I'm actually giving you a few scripts that you can write down, memorize if you need to, so you don't have to freeze, panic, or overshare anything. So go through this portion of the podcast slowly, rewind it if you need to, okay? But write these down. They could be extremely beneficial if you read them over and over, get them in your system, and that way you can just talk about them if need be. Now, here's a script for questions about your marriage. You can say something like, we're working through some things privately and focusing on getting stronger together. Okay. Again, this is if you have awkward or invasive questions. Just be straight and to the point. Here's a script for people who are pushing for details. And yes, some people do that. You can simply say, thank you for caring, but we're keeping this part of our life protected right now. Thank you. Yep, you can just say that. Now, here's a script for those who are family members who are being kind of persistent. I appreciate your concern, but we're not discussing this today. Let's enjoy the holiday. Okay? Divert your attention elsewhere. And your last script is one when you need to exit a conversation. I'm going to take a quick break. Thanks so much for understanding. And then just exit. You're not being rude. Please understand that. You are protecting your emotional boundaries. And this is important. Here's step 3. Create a safety signal as a couple. And this is where you sit down and create one of the most powerful tools that you can use. You're going to choose a discrete word, a phrase, or a touch that means like, I'm overwhelmed. So in other words, you're going to have a word, phrase, or a touch. And when you do that, you know that your spouse is conveying, I'm overwhelmed. I need a break. Please stay close to me or get me out of here. Okay? So decide for each of those, are you going to have a word, a phrase, a touch? What is that? Now here's some examples for you. An example would be a squeeze on the arm or a hand on the back. Maybe it's a phrase like, can you help me for a sec? Or a pre-decided code word like, hey, I forgot something in the car. You see, this prevents emotional explosions. It prevents things like shutting down and misinterpretation, and it keeps the two of you connected and united. And that's important for both of you during the holiday season. Okay, now we're at step number 4. Identify your personal holiday triggers before the holiday event, whether it's a holiday party, work event, family dinner, whatever it is. sit down and ask the following question. What might be hard for me? What is it that I'm going to be dealing with here? Now, for you, the one who's been betrayed, it might be something like being around people who don't know the true story. Maybe it's seeing couples that are very happy, watching your spouse interact with other people. You are thinking about old holiday memories. Maybe it's the fear of being left alone in the room or the stress and the noise that's there. Now, for you, the one who was unfaithful, your triggers may be shame, guilt, fear of being judged, worry about being exposed even, or the pressure to act natural, or again, watching your spouse who's been betrayed, watching them struggle. Both of you need compassion. You both experience some really hard things, and those experiences matter. And you both deserve safety. You really do. So unify and go through this trigger question, find out what that is for you, and then go into step number 5 where you make a stress exit plan. Now, you need to know ahead of time things like how long you're going to stay at the event, what time you plan to leave, what happens if someone gets triggered, what your plan is if the environment becomes too much for you to handle. And some of those examples for you would be, okay, we're going to stay for 2 hours and then head home. If either of us feels overwhelmed, we both agree we're going to step outside together. And if it becomes too much, we will leave. No guilt, no arguing, no hem-hawing around. We agree, we will leave. Your healing, please hear me on this, your healing must be prioritized over the holiday obligations. This is crucial. And here is your last step, step number 6. Establish a united front rule. Now let's talk about this because this is really important. Family members often unknowingly make critical comments. They can also offer unsolicited advice or push their opinions on you. They can even insert themselves into your relationship and ask questions they have no business asking. So your rule as a couple should be, okay, we answer questions together. We protect one another. We do not blame or shame one another in front of the family. And if one of us feels uncomfortable, we will step away together. When you unite on this, it builds trust, safety, and emotional alignment. And this is a helpful tool. It's one of the most important. But what do you do if you get triggered during a family gathering? Because it might happen, right? Well, I want to help you with that. Here's your real-time plan. It's short, it's simple, but it works. The first thing to do is to step away. Get away in a bathroom, a hallway, the car, the porch, anywhere that's quiet. Second thing, ground your body because your body's dysregulated. That means feel your feet on the ground. Slow your breathing. Put your hand on your chest. Maybe you look around and call out 5 things that you notice that you can see. Then tell your spouse, okay, using your safety signal, hey, I'm triggered. I need a minute. And for you, the unfaithful spouse, respond with support. You can look and you can say, I'm here, okay? I'm right beside you. You're safe. What do you need right now? And then decide together whether you're going to continue to stay or you're going to leave. And remember, there's no guilt, no pressure, and no shame. So why is it important for you during the holiday season to protect your peace? Because your peace matters. Your healing, please hear me loud and clear on this. Your healing is more important than family traditions, people-pleasing, holiday expectations, the family pressures, the social norms, and even what others may think. God sees your pain. He sees your courage. He sees the battle that's happening beneath the surface. And don't forget, He's with you. Now, while this season may not be easy, with preparation, communication, and unity, It can be a season where you protect your heart, honor your healing, and stay connected through one of the hardest times of the year. And if you are walking into the holidays carrying that heavy weight of betrayal trauma, and you need structured support, encouragement, tools, and guidance, well, my marriage redesign program, we've got only a few slots that we've opened up for free consults in December. That's where we walk couples through rebuilding safety, creating new communication patterns, breaking harmful dynamics, rebuilding trust, and becoming a Christ-centered team again. We do those consults every so often. And for the month of December, we've opened up a few so that we can end the year and start you in the new year off right. Once these are gone, they're gone. So grab it in the show notes while they're still available. You don't have to navigate this alone. So just click the link in the show notes so you can grab your consult and get started. I want to thank you for joining me in this series of how to navigate your holidays when you're dealing with betrayal. And I want you to remember something. You don't owe anyone explanations this holiday season. You don't owe anyone access to your pain. And you certainly don't owe anyone emotional energy that you don't have. Your healing, it comes first. Your safety matters. And you now have permission to protect your peace. I'll see you in the next episode as we continue our holiday healing series on beauty beyond betrayal. Be blessed. Thanks for stopping by and spending a little time with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's show and you found hope, healing, and encouragement. Please remember to subscribe to my podcast and leave a review. You can even screenshot this episode. You can share it out on Facebook and IG stories. This is how we get the message of hope and healing out to all women and couples who are in need of restoration after betrayal. And if you're ready to move out of that devastation and take the next step in your healing journey, well, make sure to reach out. Schedule your coaching session today. Until next time, love God, live your life passionately, and always choose joy in the midst of any circumstance that you may face. Cheers to you, beautiful.